in the early game these days, so
maybe that last game accepted.
yeah, last game accepted, but well, that was I think mainly because of Smeb's probably overzealous play in that Dragon Pit. However, they managed to get that win in the end, and Evelyn is the first ban from Longzhu IM.
So Callista banned out by the KOO Tigers, of course, on that red side.
All right, what will be the next ban? And it will be Annie as well.
So Eve actually banned out so far in both games. IM really doesn't want Wisdom to play that, and that is, I think, perfectly understandable. KOO has been very reliant on that champion. There is the Rise. KOO banning that on both sides, interestingly enough. You'd think that if you had Smeb on your team, you would want to play the Rise, but
yeah,
that's just me.
Well, maybe they don't want to give it over to Longzhu IM, perhaps. Maybe they're just not comfortable playing against the Rise. So,
well, depending on this last ban, IM can set themselves up for a Gragas or an Alistar. Remember, Ignar's Alistar is quite good. So the Sivir. Now, the question is, KOO Tigers, they're probably just going to default to Corki right here. Prey really only likes playing Sivir and Corki these days. It's true of a lot of AD carries, but some players like Roar play more Vayne. If they saw it Sonstar and Paragon like to switch it up with Lucian.
So, okay, Tristana ban, odd. Apparently Roar's been playing a lot of Tristana in solo queue.
I guess, and Roar is always a very highly ranked solo queue player. So his mechanics are not to be called into question. Apple actually hovering over the Galio, which was an Apple pick earlier this season.
Yeah, but I'd say you just take the Alistar here.
Yes, I agree. That should be the priority pick. Gragas should go over to Wisdom in this situation. And I think you do put the emphasis on Ignar's ability to make plays over two Sins. So Corki will be taken in the first round of the draft by the KOO Tigers. What is IM's answer to this going to be?
Looks like maybe they're thinking about the Echo. Skarner, I don't think so.
They're just trolling Cloud Templar.
They have to go through. Okay, nah, it's not really a Cloud Templar troll here.
Tucson has played the Nidalee in previous matches, so that's something he's added to his jungle repertoire. But the Rek'Sai going to be the most reliable standard pick remaining.
Well, they're still waiting on it. You know, with the amount of off-meta picks that Hojin ends up playing, I feel like Seda Devour might be his, like, gold mine.
That's actually true. That is a very interesting point. Although, from early indications, I've been, poking into that item. It actually looks like that's not going to be too useful and competitive, but yeah, we will wait and see on that.
Well, Victor and Rek'Sai were the pickups for Longzhu IM, so the KOO Tigers will be looking at their next two picks.
Kuro having a chuckle in the booth at the Scion hovers. That has been a good pick for the Tigers in the past, but I doubt we're going to see it today. Maokai still up if Smeb wants to turn in another dominating performance on that champion. Well, Kuro's going to be doing something different. Kuro's a very good Varus player. They could take Varus Maokai here with the Corki, actually.
Watch it suddenly be a Scion mid once again. Low damage team, so probably not.
This is almost certainly going to be a Varus now. We see the Janna locked in. Could be an AP Ezreal too.
Well, AP Ezreal has been doing so well against the Victor recently, but looks like there is the Kog'Maw hover so far.
Well, you took away the Gragas, you took away the Maokai, and all IM has right now to get into the backline is going to be that Alistar. Now we see the switch to the Ignite, so it looks like Apple may want to play Fizz into the Maokai, but if he plays Fizz this game, AP Ezreal is going to be very good.
Yeah, very low wave clear.
Very low wave clear, and also AP Ez shouldn't have a lot of problems getting away from the Fizz either, one would suppose.
Maybe it's a Hecarim.
Well, Fizz can get into the back line with the Urchin Strike and E, and he can burst very hard, so it will be the Fizz lock-in as suspected.
Well, especially if Fizz can get a good flank and then hit, tag the Ezreal with a, and looks like it will be the Ezreal looking from the summer spells. If he does tag the Ezreal with the ultimate as he comes in from the flank, it still will slow down the Ezreal even after your Arcane Chefs.
Yeah, problem is, there's a Gragas, there's a Janna, there's so much disengage from the KOO Tigers and there's really, honestly, inadequate engage. You basically have to rely on Ignar to hit a combo or for Apple to go in and not just get immediately blown out by an explosive cast and a monsoon. I feel like IM has kind of picked themselves into a no-engage hole again against a poke composition.
Yep.
So KOO Tigers, they've got a lot more flexibility. They can engage with Gragas, they can engage with Maokai, and yet they still have very strong siege.
Well, here are your lineups, guys. And once again, we'll see Tucson on this Rek'Sai.
You know, I really would have rather seen the Hecarim, honestly.
Better engage. Well, they just want to play for the stronger lanes, it seems, because they have the Alistar Lucian, you have the Victor into the Ezreal, you have the Fizz into the Maokai. I feel like Longzime will have to invest very heavily in a level 1 warding pattern.
Yeah, we'll see what they do in the early game, but you're absolutely right. They come in with stronger lanes. If they can snowball off the laning phase alone, they can still win this game for sure. And a lot's going to depend on Apple's ability to get on top of Kuro and hold him down. Can he do it? We're about to find out.
Wow, IM wins the cheer wars once again. And we were talking about it earlier today, but finally the Fizz Chroma.
Indeed, the Fizz Chroma coming through. Gorilla playing with that Fnatic Janna skin.
Wolf does so too, I think, with whenever he plays Janna.
Yeah, he does. He does indeed. So maybe one of those guys will get a skin of their own someday.
One could only hope. It would be pretty sick to see a SKT Alistar skin. It would be pretty funny.
It would be even more sick to see a KOO Tigers Alistar skin with the pink...
I would say Nautilus.
The pink ears.
The pink... Oh my lord.
Yeah, so you know it's brilliant.
There we go.
The pink cat ears coming back for the KOO Tigers.
I mean, what would be the most manly champion you could play in like the World Championship just so you get the pink ears on them if you win the World Championship?
The Darius?
The Darius, Kitty Cat Darius, to go with the Kitty Cat Katarina theme. Oh God, please. Might as well just go for the full Chippendale set while you're at it.
The Chippendales KOO Tigers set.
Chippendale's Darius. Wow. Hey, it would be a great Draven skin.
It would be. It would be.
Draven likes to draw attention to himself. Oh, Frozen.
He's just trying to interrupt the sapling stacking, but not really going to get a good opportunity. And those stacks will be taken by Smeb in the end. He buys enough time to just head over to where Wisdom is and start helping him with the jungle. Lane swap coming through this game. And Apple going to get harassed here by the Janna.
Yep.
Nothing going on the opposite side of the map.
Well, the bottom lane of Longzhu IM started out with a jungle camp of their own.
Yeah, really trying to get that advantage, but they're not.
Oh man, that would have been hilarious if that got it.
If a tornado stole a blue buff, I would feel very sad for Incredible Miracle. So yeah, they tried to go, the IM bottom lane did start with the Krugs, thinking that they wanted to have that advantage with the Lucian, but they get dodged here. So Prey is going to have a little bit of time on his own to set up a freeze and play very comfortably. Meanwhile, that wave should be pushing out towards the turret. And as we can see, Gorilla already recalled, and he's going to be there, so there's going to be no chance of a dive.
Oh, Smeb recalling, and he's probably going to get out of there.
Gets out at the last second. Now they know there's no chance of a dive. Apple just toying with Wisdom, and Wisdom just by himself right there, so not going to be able to do very much to turn that around. Ezreal really not strong enough to affect this invade at all. And so Maokai going to start to stack up some CS in this bottom side, and we do see Ignar, Apple, and Tucson all going as a unit to maybe try and deal with Prey. They realize John is there. Oh boy, the four-man dive. Prey gets knocked around. He has to flash. So flash and pulverize from Ignar. He had not hit level 2 yet.
If he had hit level 2, I feel like that would have been a sure death. Yeah. But at least they get rid of that flash.
And honestly, that was not very intelligent of Prey right there to play so far up. He had just seen two of them on that side of the map, and Gorilla was on the bottom side, so need to be a little bit more careful in those situations. Prey's laning.
Definitely.
Hasn't been the best today.
All right, well, you know, this bothers me a lot of times when I see this, mainly because teams pick for the laning phase and then they don't go for the, you know, the deep wards at level 1 to invest in.
There's no guarantee that those work, because there's so many mind games that can be played around those visions, like walking past the ward, then recalling and like baiting it out. So those wards can be useful, but they're not as useful, and they certainly do not guarantee you the information that you're looking for. So sure, certainly you can go after them, but
yeah,
at the same time, the reality is that lane swaps these days are kind of a crapshoot.
Okay.
As to whether you're going to get the matchup that you want or not, because there are so many different layers to the warding and how you can play around those wards.
Right, but at least put those wards in and force the enemy team to at least engage in those, kind of make the effort into getting what they want as well.
Yeah, it's true. The thing you have to be cautious about, and what you're constantly weighing it against, is what happens if you get into a level 1 fight. And they have an Alistar.
That is true.
So you may be a bit nervous about that. Also, your mid laner has a spell that is useless for level 1 fights, and that's Smite. So when you have to start thinking about, is it actually worth the risk if we walk in here? Because
well, it is worth it for long so I am, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So yes, I agree. Perhaps in this particular engagement, they could have gone in and gotten some deep wards, even if it wouldn't have guaranteed them that particular situation. And they kind of played it a little bit disrespectfully too, because they didn't freeze the wave because they were so eager to get those Krugs.
Well, looks like Smeb will pick up a huge amount of CS, 44 to the 17 of Fizz. That is not what you want to see with your Fizz.
Well, this is what happens when you go for Krugs, and there happened to be a lane swap. Gorilla and Prey. Did he actually come out of the bush right there? Wisdom. Oh, actually, Ignar going to go in. Oh, boy. They did not expect Wisdom to be there. Wisdom going to get the slow up. Prey just going to valve forward. Ignar is knocked up by the tornado. Ignar is dead.
But will he be able to equalize with the kill of his own?
Prey trying to get out of here. Tucson going in, but a double kill. And Tucson now stuck there as another tornado. Wow, I am really all in on that one. Is there going to be enough follow-up flash? And there's another flash from Gorilla and an auto attack for the finisher. Wow, that was kind of crazy for IM to keep going on to Prey.
They really wanted that Fizz to get the kill, but just not worth it in the end.
Well, there's just no way you can actually deal with that situation. Wisdom was untouched pretty much that entire time, as was Gorilla, and there's so much crowd control just coming back up. Especially at Shield, the Janna Shield, adding that little bit of extra damage too.
Was that a little bit of desperation just from seeing how far down the Fizz was in CS and just had to get a kill on him even if he dies for it?
Well, I think it might be. I think you very well might be right. And it's also, I think, a bit of desperation that this isn't a standard laning game.
Yeah.
I am really invested very heavily in having lanes that win under standard circumstances. And basically the worst thing that can happen to them is that Smeb starts to get too tanky, and Kuro has a chance to just sit in lane and start to ramp up with the Runeglaive for free, which is what's going down right now. I mean, Kuro didn't go for the Sheen burst. He actually went for the Trailblazer first, just to constantly use that smite.
Yep, and he gets that AoE wave clear to match Frozen's before he actually gets that Runeglaive. So, KOO Tiger sitting pretty.
Yeah, looking very fine indeed right now, pushing a over 1K gold advantage.
At 8 minutes into this game.
Yeah, at 8 minutes into this game. But throughout all these shenanigans, Prey has once again fallen behind in farm. It's something that we saw last time too. He's been in lanes with a lot of action though, and he'll make up for it in terms of his 3 assists for sure, but his farming just hasn't been up to par today. He's had to blow some summoners, especially that first flash in a situation that not sure he actually needed to.
Well, at least he didn't die in that situation. So there is that, even though he blew that flash. And Yeah, now we're starting to see the standard lanes come out for KOO Tigers once they have the advantage here. And, you know, while Lucian may have that BF sword, Corki has that Sheen, so you can at least trade somewhat in small bursts.
And the question now is, with this big advantage that Maokai has, he's a level up, has some more money, did pick up another Doran's Ring and a Catalyst for the sustain, 2 levels up now. How much of a hard counter is this Fizz? There's the fish, it's gonna land, Smeb has to flash instantly. There's not enough follow-up though. Smeb still has his ult on, just gonna use it. Turn it off. No backup to help him out, but they do pull his flash out of the equation.
Yep, and that ultimate for Fish should be up again soon. And once that happens, I think he'll probably go for it. Probably be up at the same time as his Ignite, I would imagine.
Yeah, his Ignite was down for that little engagement, so...
So if he can catch this entire wave, I think he'll be in a decent position, but I think Fizz will need that Sheen before he can commit to an all-in like that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and check on the pink ward, knows that it's there. But that means that they may try and bait this out when the Ignite is up and the fish is up again. You can see that Wisdom is walking into the lane. They really want to bait the all-in from Apple with the Ignite. Oh, wow. Oh, that is bold. So no fish means they just want to go all the way through the Twisted Advance and slam bam. That's going to be a dead Fizz.
Was this Playful Trickster down or something? Because he could have dodged that W, the Twisted Advance from Maokai.
Yeah, that's a good question. It may have been. He does have a really long cooldown with only 1 point in it.
True. So, this Fizz falling further behind. It's the same story that the same situation that Expression was in last game on a top laner that requires items to do damage and have an effect in the fights. And Fizz, without items, I don't think that's a very good situation to be in, Monte Cristo.
I think he needs to absolutely be the one responsible for killing Kuro, and if he's not in a situation where he can do that, because the issue is that Victor can't do that. We were looking at the Runeglaive Ezreal with Anarchy, but the reason why Goong was able to kill Kuro was because the Alistar and the Maokai were on top of the Ezreal. There is no targeted CC here, so either you rely on Ignar to just hit the combo onto the backline every time, or you're presenting yourself with a very large problem where the Ezreal just roams free and you can't actually hit him with the Chaos Storm.
Yeah, and he has his Runeglaive now and doing a lot of damage with True Shot Barrage already. We see 2 people in the top lane.
Oh, they're going to go for this. Wisdom's there also. Tusa gets isolated and crowd controlled. There is the barrel coming through. Gorilla is here. Smeb going to get headbutted backwards. Apple knocked up and exhausted, so there's almost no damage coming out of IF. 3-man knockup, but it's not going to be enough. Here comes Frozen. There is the Chaos Storm. Ooh. Nice kill from Frozen onto Smeb, but it is a 1-for-1. And the end, as Tucson gets a little bit frisky and doesn't realize that Wisdom was there, but Smeb is going to lose some farm for this, no doubt. Still has 10 seconds, and Wisdom's going to have to go back and clean it up. Kuro also just not in a power spike yet. He needs more time and items. Yep.
Well, he will need his Luden's Echo to really start affecting all lanes with that huge amount of damage that this AP Ezreal can do. KOO actually, Smeb actually picks up a lot of that wave. And in the end, Frozen seems to lose out.
Well, Frozen, yeah, losing about a wave or so onto that tower. And Wisdom is having a great game so far. 4 kills. So he is 100% fed.
401.
At the moment, going to be very tanky in these skirmishes, able to outlast his opponents by a pretty significant margin. Tucson taking this opportunity while the mid laner is not there to clear out the pink ward. Gorilla doing his best to defend, but has to stay on the periphery, just slinging some W's in. Wisdom's here now. That'll change things.
This is odd. Kuro on this Ezreal got the Fiendish Codex first. I guess he's going for some mana item or some cooldown item?
Must be Morellonomicon. I don't know about that, actually. We'll see. We'll see what he ends up turning it into.
Seems like an odd buy.
It does, especially when that Luden, you really are reliant on that damage. And, you know, there's not very much healing coming in. Maybe there's like a Mundo on the other team. I could sort of understand it, but Not in this particular instance. KOO also getting the blue buff. Here we go. Dive coming into the bottom side. Tucson going to make his move alongside Apple. They want to get this teleport. Gorilla is certainly going to fall. And they're going to trade maybe a turret for a turret at the end. Can they actually go onto this tower? Wisdom's still there.
I think they're going to leave this. No, Apple's going to go clean up that turret. And Longzhu IM is also going to take a dragon as well.
Nice play from IM. Using that teleport advantage, they get a kill onto Fizz.
All right. Well, dragon goes to Longzhu IM. First of the game.
A lot of action so far. Well, that really helps out Apple.
Yeah.
He needed that gold. So blue buff could be taken. So KOO may get double blues here. So trading a blue buff for a dragon, a tower for a tower, but the kill goes to LZIM, and they started to take over that bottom side jungle. But KOO responding appropriately, and they will have TP advantage of their own in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, it looks like. Yeah,
and he got that solo gold on that turret too, so he most likely will have the Sheen once he goes back. Probably not the whole Triforce, but yep, here we go. Upgraded his totem as well. Alright then. Well, KOO comes out the loser of that set of trades there.
Not by a lot, though.
Not by a lot.
Not by a lot. And not really in a way that's going to immediately impact them either. That first dragon going over really isn't that bad. And, okay, there we go. Frozen going to get... Oh, the anti-synergy. The anti-synergy was strong. Well, but they still make it work.
Yep. Alrighty then, we're going to see this tower being aggressed on in the bottom lane, and probably most likely going to be taken with that Triforce completed on Prey.
Yes, and that's a lot of gold heading over to the KOO Tigers right now. They looking to get some more damage onto the mid lane turret. Everyone collapsing. Apple has the exhaust onto him. Prey dealing a significant amount of damage. It's still a 2v3, but Prey is in the power spike. Can he actually get a kill? Gorilla going to bounce people away with the Monsoon. It's not going to be enough, but are they going to lose a turret for it? Looks like Ezreal doesn't want to actually start autoing the tower in the mid lane, so they will back off.
A little bit odd choice, but I guess he was low on mana and decided to back off. So, yep, looks like it is the Morellonomicon. So a mana item for our AP Ezreal here.
He's going to get a little bit more CDR off of that too, so maybe he just wants to control the minion waves quite significantly, just being able to spam even more spells so with that additional mana regen and having more uptime on his Q and his True Shot Barrage.
Yeah, and this frees him up in terms of his boot choice, so he can go the Sorcerer's Shoes instead of the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. So there is that upside. He's currently sitting at around 30 CDR, 35 with Masteries, I would imagine. And if he gets 5% on his rune set, then he's straight up 40 right off the bat at 17 minutes.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I'm not surprised. This is a very KOO way to build this champion, right? Not really going for the damage, going for the control, which is something that KOO likes to play around with. We've seen how he plays Echo.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically just uses Chrono Break just to return to mid lane and then just auto the turret to death.
Yep.
So valuing the pressure that he provides rather than his kill potential.
Well, we see this aggression from the KOO Tigers in the bottom lane, and IM is trying to match it with the jungle coming down of their own. Well, it looks like it's going to be a 4v3 at best.
They found the Smeb.
Well, that tower's going to go down. Oh, wait, down.
Prey had to eat a culling, but he's got plenty of friends around to make sure that there isn't a death on their hands.
Yep. And meanwhile, in that mid lane, Farm Wars continues. Farm Wars Episode 5.
Is that what it's been today, Farm Wars?
Yep. It has in most lanes, to be honest.
Actually, I feel like we've had some pretty high-action games today.
Oh, we definitely had some high-action games, but there were definite lanes where people just farmed for a good while.
It's the way of League of Legends, Barry.
The farming.
The farming.
Farm Simulator 2015.
So exciting.
Oh, man.
Gorilla here. Gorilla alone.
Oh. A lot of damage onto Gorilla, but KOO responds with poke of his own.
Yeah, didn't use the True Shot Barrage there. Perhaps had that chance to clear out the wave without taking any damage whatsoever on the turret, even though there wasn't much. Trinity Force finally finished for Apple. It's been a long, rocky road to that Trinity Force, but he's got it now. Oh boy. Clearing out the minion wave with tornadoes. That's how you do it. So that mid lane, even though it took a ton of chip damage from Frozen, actually has been propped up. Roar going Bloodthirster. Man, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, Bloodthirster with that pickaxe. So it looks like he may be going straight into either an Infinity Edge or some sort of a Last Whisper here.
I'm not sure what he's doing. I mean, this is actually a very poor build in terms of damage output, but it does help him against the poke of Corki and Ezreal early on. So if he's looking just to survive, get over the hump, and then just be able to actually auto turrets, walk up to them, and not be poked out of engagements, this could be a little bit of a band-aid, but it's going to significantly lower his DPS around 2 to 3 core items.
Yeah. Well,
especially against Smeb, who's going to have a Frozen Heart soon. I mean, that Lucian's going to be doing nothing.
Well, he will need the crit indeed. Let's see if he can make it up in other itemization, but looks like right now KOO Tigers want to steal this blue buff.
Yeah, they're going for it. It's already pulled out. Victor making his way over. It gets reset. Smeb is here. It is a 5v4, so IM would be a little crazy to go after it. They're going to try and Death Ray, but that's not going to be enough. KOO has that smite, so will secure it with some ease.
Oh God, that's a lot of damage.
It's beginning, Barry.
It has begun.
Oh, Tucson actually getting way too far up and just slowed with the W from Janna.
Ooh.
Now Wisdom going to go in, breaks everyone apart. There's no True Shot Barrage. Remember, Prey has to get out of that fight immediately. Apple is going to TP in, but then Playful Trickster his way out of combat. Smeb still in the front line, and there's a Gravity Field swirling next to the KOO Tigers in that river. Smeb still going in, and he's going to get the kill onto Apple. KOO with the aggressive E forward, but no one going to punish him for it, and that's right as the dragon comes up.
Well done by KOO Tigers indeed. And yeah, they take that fight fairly easily. Apple, not the strongest right now. He just has a Trinity Force. He may need that Blade of the Rune King, or, you know what, if I was Apple, I would just go straight into tank items right now.
Checking the Baron. That was a precautionary True Shot Barrage.
Yeah.
They've been burned too many times by secret Barons while Dragon was going down. They still have to be careful. Smeb is full HP. They can't defend this tower. KOO Tiger is doing an amazing job of abusing this power spike.
Well, that's KOO Tigers for you.
Do they know how to play with Corki? The answer is yes.
Yep. Them and SK Telecom.
What is Roar building?
Last Whisper.
This is okay.
That's a weird build.
I'm done with you, Roar. Okay, so Wisdom gets the flash body slam straight into the cask. There is the TP coming in. Prey gets exhausted, has to flash away. Now Apple gets into the fight, but has to use his Playful Trickster exit. And now he's not a threat to the backline anymore, so Smeb can just zone him out for the foreseeable future. Does follow up with the kill. And KOO is so free at that point. He could just E over walls, use that arcane shift. There was never any threat on to him in that fight.
Yep. So KOO with the Sorcerer's Shoes and that needlessly large rod. Oh, poor Tucson. Feels bad, man.
Does it?
Yep. Feels bad when you can't get that last hit.
Gorilla clearing out wards. Tucson finds himself a nice little crab right in front of the Baron, so that'll delay KOO, but I don't think KOO's going to want to fight yet. Wow, Frozen Heart already done on a Wisdom. Man, this Lucian is going to do 0 damage. He has no attack speed. He has a dagger. This Lucian build...
Oh, man. What is up?
This is basically putting you in a giant power trough right while the Corki and Ezreal are getting super strong.
You know...
You cannot... There's no way if you're Roar, you're killing Smeb or Wisdom anytime soon.
I think you're just putting yourself in a power trough for the rest of the game with this build.
Nope. It's still the same as 6 items, Barry.
It's still the same as 6 items. All right. I mean, you could be building really, really weird stuff the whole time. You can go for Yomu's Ghost Blade as well.
Hey, Ghostblade's fine on Lucian. It has synergy with his ult. Okay, well, Prey just going to try and solo Frozen. He gets stunned.
Boom!
Not sure about that one.
What was up with that one?
He wanted the sweet all-in with the Blade of the Ruin King.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
You know, we just got so excited for nothing. All right, Prey. See a little cam of him, but Kuro's all alone. Kuro's going to go down to this Lucian. This wacky Lucian.
The wacky Lucian does enough damage if Kuro's by himself and Ignar can get the combo. Remember, this Ezreal is incredibly squishy.
Yep.
Well, some pretty big misplays there by the Tigers cost them 2 kills and 2 towers, looks like it's going to be. Tucson furiously pushing up the mid lane.
I don't think they'll be able to get this top lane tier 2. They're going to have to back
But they're going to get 2 tier 1s and 2 kills for almost nothing.
Yep.
So, Prey maybe, when the Tigers are ahead, they have a tendency to overplay their hands. They don't know the limits of their lead sometimes. They're also going to lose their blue buff. Well, IM did a really good job of capitalizing on that.
Yeah, and there's that true shot barrage raking through, and does nothing. Kuro trying to get that Luden's Echo as quickly as he can. You know, I do, like, the more I think about it, the more I like this Morellonomicon. We've seen Ezreal's, like, play, and they just, when they don't have blue buff, they just run out of mana so quickly.
It's true. And also, it does give you more magic penetration early, right? When the MR is generally going to be lower. I mean, they don't have very much MR besides the Locket right now. On this composition. Frozen has not bothered to build an Abyssal Scepter or anything like that, so the flat pen going to be really efficient from the Sork shoes. It's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I still think that additional AoE of Ludens is a bit more reliable, but
no, definitely. But it is a much safer build for extended team fights, I believe.
Well, it's a much safer build also for an extended laning phase, which is something we definitely saw in this game.
Yeah. Well, War split pushing it up in the bottom lane, but without that attack speed, I don't think you're going to be getting a lot of damage onto the turret. And he's going for a Trinity Force here. So this wacky build doesn't stop. This reminds me of the,
You don't know it's not a Black Cleaver berry.
Okay, then that would be even wackier.
It's a Trinity Force. He has a Brawler's Glove.
That could lead into an Avarice Blade. And then he'll just go straight into
farm up into a Black Cleaver.
Okay,
well, you know what? I'm done with trying to figure out this build because I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So.
You know, the last time I saw a really wacky AD carry build was like Bang's all AD no Sheen Ezreal build. With no crit as well.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was an interesting build. Well, that was also against the KOO Tigers now that I think about it, back in the spring season.
Now they're all grouped up as 5, still trying to siege down these turrets, seeing a lot of success onto the tier 2.
Rek'Sai's on the flank. He revealed himself with that Prey Seeker.
I mean, IM has good wave clear, so they have to be careful. Also, that Death Ray
looks like
putting him in a world of hurt. Kuro has a blue buff, so those cooldowns could be used.
Ignar is very, very hurt. He has to back off and go to base, and that means this turret is most likely going to go down.
Yeah, very patient play around the objectives. Wisdom just seeing his duty out and taking care of the enemy jungler. They're going to take the red buff and the dragon, it looks like. Very patient play around objectives from the Tigers. I mean, the weird thing about the Tigers is you look at their objective play and it's so clean, right?
Yep.
There's very little chance for the enemy to even do something or play it out. I mean, not even a chance right there for a steal. But when we talk about their skirmishing or their decision-making on duels,
well, that's the KOO Tigers for you. They have their own brand of League of Legends that they play.
Wow. So True Shot Barrage coming through. That's going to make sure that this siege doesn't stay in effect. So IM just gets led on a merry chase around the map from their tier 2 to the Dragon to the tier 2 of the KOO Tigers, but they don't get anything.
Well, big wave pushing into the bottom side, and Apple looks like he's going to be picking that up. Apple currently going for tank build after that Trinity Force, like I said, and I think he will try to get that Spectre's Cowl next.
Oh boy, the Spectre's Cowl. Yeah, see if he has Kuro. There's the Echo. And a blasting one, too. How fun. How fun for Kuro.
He's probably going to get Void Staff.
AP.
Like Void Staff or a Rabadon's Death Cap, you think?
I don't think he needs Void Staff yet.
Well, there is an Aegis of the Legion on Tucson right now.
His flat pen's going to take care of a lot of that already.
True.
I mean, between his runes and masteries and his...
Oh, dear.
Smeb gets caught, but getting caught is relative when you're Maokai. Actually, can Smeb get out of this? He's actually been stunned through. There we go. It's going to turn the fight now. Tucson is going to get hit. And there is the explosive cast just to shatter the enemy lines, and they barely disengage with that. Ignar gets actually stuffed by a tornado with his headbutt, so he can't get the combo.
Fighting in that choke point against a Janna is probably not the best thing you could be doing.
Gorilla saved that fight. Wisdom, I have no idea what Wisdom is doing.
Smeb's coming back.
Smeb is back, baby. And he's here to take on Roar. Gets the W onto him. Actually, that's a flash from Ezreal. They're still fighting here.
God.
Prey is low. But Kuro still spitting out some damage from the side, and that's going to be Frozen with the kill. Double kill for Frozen.
For Kuro.
Kuro with a triple kill. Can he keep going? Where's his E? There's a Q onto Victor, and a True Shot Barrage zones him out, but that's going to be it. Kuro doesn't get the Quadra.
He gets the triple, and that is it. I bet he was yelling, Penta, 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 Penta.
Then he was sad.
Nope. Very, very sad indeed. But a big win for the KOO Tigers. It started out well for Longzhu IM, and then Wisdom and Gorilla saved the day with their displacement abilities.
Gorilla was so good.
Yeah.
In that fight.
Ignar went for the big play and was just completely blocked by Gorilla's Tornado. Or was it Tornado or the Monsoon?
It was this Tornado that blocked Ignar's headbutt.
Oh, let's see here.
So right here, this is too late. This is actually the turnaround where Smeb's going to come back in with full HP, trying to abuse. Remember, Kuro's low right now. He has to flash so he doesn't get unburrowed on. And Roar finds himself in a very difficult situation with Kuro on the side, just spitting that damage. And Frozen gets a good flank. Frozen actually plays this team fight quite well, but the rest of his team is too low. So Smeb gets into the front line, and there we go. Just a zoning True Shot Barrage. Tucson forced into a very difficult decision as to where he's going to go, and either way, Kuro gets the kill.
Well, that looks like a hole that the Longzhu IM team has dug themselves into. 5,000 gold lead for the KOO Tigers currently. And yeah, it looks like a Rabadon's Death Cap next for Kuro. So he's only getting stronger, Monte Cristo.
And he's only getting stronger.
And if he gets that Elixir of Sorcery on top of it, his ult is going to do true damage to the entire team.
Wisdom gets caught out. Wisdom gets stunned by the Victor Gravity Field, and that's going to be a pick. Gorilla also may be falling, and he dies to the Lucian.
Great Lucian play from Curl. Not Curl, was it Roar?
Wow, they may just go ahead and give up a Baron here. This has to be done so cautiously by IM. The poke from Kuro is so terrifying. With that MR shred, this could easily be Kuro killing everybody. Smeb is still full HP. I don't know if IM could do this.
Well, his True Shot Barrage isn't up yet. It's not up now. He also has
the smite. Here's the True Shot Barrage coming through. It will be a Baron for IM. Smeb's still in the mix, though. Ignar trying to zone out. But look how low IM is. Can they actually turn this? The poke is still coming in. And there's a kill for Ezreal. Kuro's just in the middle of everything.
Oh, man.
He will die, but Prey is still alive.
Apple just ditched his team. If he had stayed in the pit, that could have been a different story with his Triforce.
I don't know. He was so low. That was a very bold Baron attempt. And even though KOO, it was a 3v5, they still win.
Yes, they do.
In terms of kills. They don't get the Baron, but...
Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, Smeb, I mean, the True Shot Barrage is a little off the mark. I think they could have gone for a Smite Steal right there, actually, since Kuro was a higher level, but they didn't decide to commit for that one. Instead, they see everybody just bottled up with 1,000,000 points of Armor Shred on them. Kuro tries to get in there and finish off the kill. Prey has enough HP to actually deal with Roar, and he's not going to go any further into that. So only 2 members actually receive Baron buff, Apple and Tucson.
Well, I mean, it would be someone that you wanted on the Apple and Tucson, because those are the two champions, if anyone on Longzhou would be doing some split pushing.
Well, still not a great scenario as Dragon number 3, KOO already sitting there lying in wait for that objective.
Well, Lucian moves up from the bottom lane. There's still a big wave pushing into the bottom side for Longzhou IM, so they're going to have to do something about this quick if they want to do anything.
Oh, wow, he actually dodged into that 3-person True Shot Barrage. That's going to be the end of that fight. No time to go heal before the Dragon is taken. More movement speed for the KOO Tigers.
All right, well, Roar's going to head down, pick up that big wave. And meanwhile, the KOO Tigers barreling down the mid lane.
Well, Roar certainly has a lot of burst here.
Yeah.
If he can get damage onto Kuro, he is very strong, but it's hard for him to get into the back line, obviously.
Man, this build from Lucian makes me miss the old AD carry itemization where he had the 180.
Oh, Tucson just going to get knocked out of his unburrow. Smeb still playing it. There's a Monsoon backwards, and there's a True Shot Barrage. Hits Roar right in the front.
My.
Holy cow, that's a lot of damage. Kuro's too far forward, starts getting hit by the culling. Has to back off. Kuro takes a bunch of poke.
That was so much damage from just one ability.
But this is that situation.
Oh,
the snipe over the wall.
Well,
gets the ward down, even though the ward was lensed and couldn't see. He guesses right.
That is a 35-second death timer currently for Kuro. Can KOO, not Kuro, Frozen, can, KOO Tigers get this mid lane turret? I don't think so with these baroned up minions helping defend.
Well, these haven't been the cleanest games from the KOO Tigers tonight, Barry.
No, definitely not.
But that said, what has been impressive is their draft. Again, same story, right? IM cannot get onto the carries in this game. So Kuro just gets to do whatever the hell he wants with very low threat because they did a good job of keeping Apple down early, and he was the big hope for blowing up the back line.
Yep.
But it just hasn't translated in terms of actual items.
Yeah, KOO Tigers taking the rest of the teams in Korea to school on how to exactly build a composition around their mid lane Ezreal.
Yeah, Gorilla also has Glory and Talisman now, so their kiting potential is just through the roof.
Jeez.
This Alistar, who still doesn't have a Righteous Glory himself, he just has Face of the Mountain, Ignar. There's almost no way that Ignar can engage at this stage.
He's going for that Mikhail's Crucible right now.
I don't think that's a good choice at all, frankly.
Well, I guess he wants to stop. The only CC that you could really Crucible is the Twisted Advance from Maokai, but that might be enough, perhaps?
KOO doesn't need to go in to fight, right? They can sit around Dragon and Baron for the rest of the game, and that's going to be the end of it.
Well,
Smeb can just play goalie for Ezreal while they try and go in, just like catch everything.
Well, too bad. Is he using the goalkeeper skin? I don't remember actually right now.
No, he's not.
Well, he missed the opportunity there.
Here we go.
Oh, here's a teleport coming in.
And Frozen a little bit alone right now. Has to flash over the wall. So they get a very important summoner spell out. They still find some damage onto Apple. Ignar has to ult instantly to avoid just getting one-shotted. Ooh, not a very good True Shot Barrage. Only hits Roar. Wisdom still on the zone. And there goes Victor. No more flash means Smeb has the perfect time to engage. And Prey and Ezreal just outputting ridiculous damage from the back line. Prey's going to take out Apple. There are the rockets. Flash forward for Prey. One more rocket. Can he get it? Uses the summoner heal, but can't get the last hit onto Rek'Sai.
Oh! Here comes the boom, boys.
The style points. Wisdom with the flash ult. Roar, the last man standing.
And with his culling down and 20-second plus death timers from Longzhou IM, this is surely the end of the game.
And the full HP Maokai to tank all of the turrets. Smite used to clear out a few of those minions, and that's going to be it. KOO Tigers come on through with another 2-0 victory, extending their win streak to 13 games and 8 consecutive best of 3s.
Well played by the KOO Tigers indeed. Prey looking very happy with their performance, along with Kuro.
I don't know how happy I'd be. Prey did try and duel Victor in the mid lane and get killed, and therefore cause Kuro to get killed, and then lose 2 towers.
Yeah. This is the thing you got to realize about this KOO Tigers team. They have a lot of fun just playing League of Legends. They are one of the few teams that has probably the funniest voice comms out of any of them.
Yeah, we've seen some of those off the records. I mean, I've been in their team house too, and they are absolutely hilarious together.
Yeah.
They really do play off each other well. They're extremely loud. They're so loud.
Have you gone to their most recent team house?
I haven't seen the one in Gangnam yet. No.
Yeah, they're very loud. The Hearthstone team complains about it.
Yeah, basically Prey and Hojin and Smeb are all